today we're talking about love. We talk about love a lot, don't we? Well, it's because this whole teaching of the science of mind is love and law. And so it's important that we remember that. And I was reading in the Science of Mind this morning a wonderful section that I thought I would share with you as we started today because it really touched me. And I thought it just might be a really good thing to remember. So the whole teaching of Science of Mind is love and law. So the law is no respecter of persons, okay? It just does what it does. When we do wrong, the law responds according to how we think and what we've done. When we do right, it also responds. But of course, the thing that we receive is a little bit different. So Ernest Holmes wrote, "When we do wrong, the law punishes. When we do right, it rewards. Everything is according to law and order." This is the only way the universe could function. If our thought is of God or good, we shall be using the law in the right way. When our thoughts and acts are opposed to good, we transgress and we are punished. Well, there is no sin but a mistake, and no punishment but a consequence. So whatever we're putting out into the universe, whatever we're thinking, saying, doing, everything about that is going to come back to us in a corresponding way. And sometimes we go, well, I didn't think about that. Well, no, but we live in a world of 8 billion people, and each and every one of us are connected. There's only one power. There's only one thing going on, and we all live, move, and have our being in it. So really important to remember that the law responds according to our thinking. The law is no respecter of persons and will bring good or bad to any, according to their use or misuse of it. It will be a law of freedom to the righteous and one of bondage to those who misuse it. We cannot escape from the creative power of our thought, and there's no use in trying to do so. All we need do is to use the law from the right motive, then we shall be free. So by the right motive, what he's really talking about is that the universe responds to us through us. Okay, so if we have in our consciousness, maybe not in our conscious awareness, but in the subconscious, we might have a belief that I'm not enough. And if that is a belief that is running, then the universe is going to respond by sharing that idea or bringing to me anything that matches it. So we want to pay really good attention. And he goes on to talk about a treatment of faith. Faith is an unconditional belief in both the ability and the desire of spirit to hear an answer. The treatment of faith heals the sick through the law, which says that whatever images of thought are held in the subjective state of mind will tend to appear in the body or in the body of affairs. In the subjective state of mind, you have to pay attention to that, because you might be consciously saying, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, or I'm health, I'm health, I'm health. But underneath that is like, oh man, I feel terrible, or oh man, I'm so broke. Whatever is in that subconscious, that subjective side of life, when we have something going on there that is not yet healed, it is going to create. Okay, so we can say all manner of fancy words, but until we allow the healing to happen, we may repeat a lot of errors. He goes on to say, when the treatment of faith penetrates the subjective thought and neutralizes false images, then the sick are raised into health. Even God cannot heal the sick unless this psychological change takes place in the inner creative thought. So what he's saying here is that what we think about, we bring about. What we believe to be true is what ends up happening in our lives. And so if we want to experience freedom, if we want to experience greater joy and possibility in our lives, then we have to change something within us that is out of alignment. Okay? God does not punish, but there is a law that corresponds to the thinking, the belief system that we have, and then produces a matching result. We've all heard of the law of attraction, and we think, if I pretend I'm happy, then the law will bring me all things to be happy about. That's not how it works. It's whatever it is that I believe about me, that is what's going to be drawn into my life through the law of attraction. So today we're talking about love, and we're talking about that true divine love that is at the core of everything. And when we open our heart and allow ourselves to really experience a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose, what happens is we begin to draw to us more and more of this incredible loving experience. So true love contains respect, okay? So respect is a really important part of this. And if we say that I love and accept you, then I must be coming to you in all moments in a respectful way. So in the Vietnamese tradition, always respecting each other. So in romantic partners, they always respect each other as honored guests. So imagine for a moment that you treat your spouse, your girlfriend or boyfriend, your close friends, your neighbors. If you treat them with that loving respect, what you're going to find is that there'll be more and more of that respect coming your way. When you practice this, your love will last really for a very long time. And what a lot of this love energy is about, the passion that we experience and the joy that comes from that experience. So when you're concentrated, mind and body at one, anything you say could be a mantra. And when you go into your meditation, you could do that mantra prior to the meditation, allowing you to sink deeper into that heart center so that you can begin to expand and grow that which you really would love to create. There is a mantra that says, I know you are there and I am very happy. When I look deeply at the moon, I breathe in and out deeply and say, full moon, I know you are there and I am very happy. I do the same when I see the morning star. Walking among the beautiful spring magnolia trees in Korea, I looked at the beautiful flowers and said, I know you are there and I am very happy. To be truly present and know that the other is also there is a miracle. Whenever you are there, you are able to recognize and appreciate the presence of others. So from the science of mind point of view, this idea of love is an omnipresent force that flows through all life, not limited to fleeting moments of passion or dramatic gestures. Okay? The science of mind, when we understand that love expands when we engage in loving ourselves and others, tapping into the boundless stream of love that surrounds us. So the idea of love is bigger, and we only have one word for it, unlike other traditions that maybe have numerous words to explain this idea of love. But for us, we have one. And that word is often misunderstood to be just romance. And it's not. It is so much more than that. It's like the language of the universe speaking. You know, the Om is like Om. It's this universal sound, the sound of the universe. It's this connection that we have, body, mind, and soul. And it allows us to be free in our experience and to move forward. So in science of mind, true love carries respect and involves not only what we receive, but also what we give. And it is rooted in compassion, kindness, and a willingness to share both joys and challenges. And by being present and fully engaged, we transform love from an ideal into a living reality, allowing us to soar above and beyond limitations. So when we feel a sense of being a bit stuck or something, we have an opportunity to shift that. We can turn around and take a look at ourselves and just ask, what is it that I need at this moment? Not what I want, but what I need. Take a moment, just ask yourself that. Touch your heart and just ask yourself, what do I need right now? And maybe something came up in Nick's meditation. And if it did, then I invite you to spend a little time with it, to pull yourself out of whatever's going on that might be a challenge and open your heart wide so that you can dive in and reveal the loving essence that is you. I think sometimes we think we're flawed and broken. We think there's something we need to change or alter, that somehow we're not enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are. You were created perfect, whole, and complete. And that's a foundation of the science of mind. We believe that completely, that every single person is born perfect, whole, and complete. So what we're doing is we're returning to that awareness and understanding. We're returning to love. We may have been caught up in the challenge of the day or the politics of the day or whatever's going on around the world that's causing us distress. But if we stop that for a moment and allow ourselves to really dive into that heart space, we begin to reshape our awareness, and it allows us to see moments of love where we might have missed them before. It allows us to create a more loving, open-hearted approach to each day, right? When we get up each day, we're going, oh no, not this again. Or are we waking up and going, now what? You know, big difference between the two of those. And yet often we do the latter rather than doing this new one. But what we want to do is really look at how we can build a consciousness that gives us a greater capacity for love. There's ways of doing that, and our daily practice is the key. In our everyday interactions, we can focus on practicing deeper, more active listening. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you really listened to somebody who was talking to you? Or were you formulating a response to what they were saying? Or were you thinking about what you want to share? And so you can't really hear them. Well, active listening is, I'm present with you. I'm present. I'm hearing your words. I'm receiving what you say. And I'm receiving it without judgment or criticism. I simply receive it. And I thank you for sharing it. And we begin to change the vibration that is happening between us. You know, when we look at the media, you know, it's like the portrayal of love is a little overly sensationalized, shall we say, leading some of us to seek love in intense, passionate, even frantic expressions. And while those moments can happen, there's also a calmer, more grounded, and arguably more sustainable way to experience love. And this is a love that involves not just receiving, but giving. A love rooted in compassion and at times sacrifice. It's a love that requires action, action with intention. And to act with intention, we must first pause. So take a moment now and pause. What do you intend for your experience over the next 5 minutes? See, when we set an intention, we begin to experience life in a new way. When we set an intention to be more loving, when we set an intention to be kinder to the people around us, or, when we phone Rogers or Bell and we're on the line for 2.5 hours and we don't get results, what we want to do is remember the person on the other end of the line is a person just like us. And we have an opportunity to treat them kindly and respectfully. And if we're not getting things solved, we can always end that call and make another one, and we will get a different person. Or we can ask for a supervisor. And all of this can be done in a calm and relaxed way. But I know sometimes we can get frustrated because we're not getting the results that we had hoped for. So we just want to shift our energy and really begin to train our mind to be open to love. So there's some mantras that you could try. And you just say these to yourself as you navigate all relationships. You can start with, if you have a loving partner, you can start with, darling, I am here for you. I know you are there, and I am happy. You could also use the name of a friend or something as well. Kathy, I am here for you. I know you are there, and I am happy. Kathy, I know you are suffering. Kathy, I am suffering. Please help. So when we use some of these phrases, if you pick the last one, this challenges you to be compassionate with yourself, to make this statement or request, and it opens up others to your life to support your journey. So when we're doing these things, we want to be conscious of what I'm doing and why. So I might start with the first one and go, Pierre, I am happy. I am here for you. I know you are there, and I am happy. And I can work with that. So whatever you decide to work with, I invite you to do that this week so that you can really open yourself up to a greater experience of the love and law that is operating all the time, and to come to understand the essence of life that is within you, that is always saying yes to your requests, no matter what they are. Namaste.